Shalom Israel. This is GMS Stop and Listen. First and foremost, give all praises to the Heavenly Father and His Son, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of GMS who rule well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. I want to go share a little lesson with you, man, because we're in that time of the prophecies are constantly showing themselves. Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai showing himself through the angels. That's where I want to go with this short lesson, because it was, today is Tuesday, Sunday evening, I was out riding around, and I just happened to look up in the sky, and there wasn't no stars, but out to the west there was a shining star that was pulsating, and I just happened to look at it, and I saw like a green, it was like basically like white, and it was pulsating, and then out to the side it was this little extension came out. It was like green and red. It just came out like that like 2 or 3 times, and then it went back. And then as I got on up the road, I was looking through my rearview mirror, I still seen it. And then I went up the road a little bit further, and I looked back through the rear view, and it was gone. So, we know that the chariots are showing themselves, man. I saw a video where the brother in Dallas was videoing a chariot, and then I saw the video the brother Yatazak did, laying backing off that video, adding to it, and I was like, wow. Like right after I saw the video, and I seen chariots also. So they're showing themselves because they're getting ready to appear to do the work of the Lord. I want to share this Zechariah 5:1, and it says, "Then I turned and looked, and my eyes looked, and behold, a flying roll." Now these flying rolls, these are another name for chariots, man. The chariots are the vehicles for the Lord, right? And when you go into the word chariot, it's a 7393. Rakab is a vehicle by implications, a team by extension, a cavalry of riders, troops of riders, horsemen. This is the strength and protection of the Lord's people, these chariots, right? And you see them if you know what you're looking for. If the Lord has opened your spiritual eye a little bit, you see them. He's showing them to us, whereas we probably see them, other people don't. We thank Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai for imparting that knowledge on us to be able to see the basically the protection of the people, which is going to be the salvation of the elect of Israel. It says, "Then I turned and looked up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll, which is the chariots. And he said unto me," who is that he? He said unto me, this is the angel that was with Zechariah. And I could prove that. Because in my book it says Zechariah 4:1. So I'm going to read Zechariah 4:1. Go back one chapter. And it says, "And the angel that talked with me came again and waked me as a man that is waking out of his sleep." So an angel was with Zechariah. So he says, "And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 2 cubits, and the breadth thereof is 3 cubits. Right? So this is a chariot that you're seeing the size of it. Right? And ironically, when you look at the measurements, they were basically almost the same measurements as when Solomon's porch. When you go back and read the length and the breadth of Solomon's porch, that chariot was like the same size, which is ironic, you know. Hey, coincidence, maybe. Hey, I know it's done. Everything's done. Y'all Bashem, y'all shall do everything. It's perfect. So that's basically, when you read that, it's like the same size as Solomon's porch. It says, letting you know, hey, chariots are a righteous thing, man. You know. It says, verse 3, then said he unto me, this is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side, according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as one that side according to it. Okay. It says, and he said unto me, this is the curse. This is what the angel told Zechariah. The curse that goeth forth over the whole earth, man. So that curse, the curse that goeth forth, he said it's the chariots, which when you really go into it, the chariots represent a declaration of righteousness, man. They really stand for the chariots represents the 10 commandments, the commandments and everything. So that curse that's going to go forth all over the whole world is basically it's going to be a curse for the people who are sinners, because this destruction is going to come upon them. When the chariots come, you will be judged by the law when the chariots get back. If you have been a homosexual, the scriptures say, put them to death. That's what's going to happen. If suffer not a witch to live, if you're a witch when the chariots come back, you're going to be cut off. So them chariots basically represents the commandments, man. They are a representation of Yahweh Shai and the Father Yahweh. And they're going to do his work. Like it said in Ezekiel, according to my anger. So those chariots are gonna actually be killing people and vindicating people according to the Lord's anger, man. And it says, for everyone that stealeth shall be cut off. And this is mainly talking about Esau, because Esau stole a whole nation of people. He stole a whole land from a nation of people. And he's continuing to steal. That's his MO. That's the MO of the wicked. So he's going to be cut off, man. And 2/3 of our own people who follow the systematic ways of Esau and want to walk hand in hand with him and enjoy the luxurious pleasure of this world, they're going to be destroyed too. You know, it says, for everyone that stealeth shall be cut off as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off as on the side according to it. So the curse going to be on Esau and 2/3 of our own people. This curse is going to fall on you heavy, man. You know. Let me get Isaiah. Go to Isaiah 66. Isaiah 66 and 15. It says, for I beheld the Lord Yahweh will come with fire and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebukes with flames of fire. So these lasers are going to be coming from these chariots, man. You're going to have concentrated fire coming from these chariots, right? The blast of fire, the tempest that it tells you in 2nd Ezra 13th chapter. It says, to render his anger with fury and his rebukes with flame of fire. So the Lord rebukes you with that fire. For by fire and by his sword, the lasers and the other part of his sword are the nukes, the nuclear missiles, the thermonuclear missiles, man. that have been created for the destruction of Esau. It says, his sword with the Lord, Yahweh plead with all flesh. This is how he's going to punish all his flesh with the nukes. And the slain of Yahweh shall be many. So it's going to be a lot of death here in America, man. Sorrow is going to be a lot of sorrows of the people when the Lord comes back. When you go into that word slain, it means fatally killed. So there's going to be a lot of death coming to America, you know. You know, the Lord is coming back to bring sorrow on the people, man. It's not going to be a Ferris wheel ride, you know. The Lord is coming back to punish and bring punishment to the people, you know. And I could read one passage in. When you read Second Ezra, when you read the 13th chapter, it goes into how the Lord is going to be, how he came back on that mountain, right? And it says, let's see, we can start at I'll start at 5, 2 Ezra 13 and 5. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of a number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the men that come out of the sea. So the American military is over there. They're getting ready to be sent as a whole to the Middle East, because that's where a World War III is going to evolve in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, man. So they're getting ready to be sent there. It says, but I beheld, and lo, I had graven himself a great mountain, and flew upon it. But I would have seen the region of the place where out the hill was graven, and I could not. So Ezra was seeing the chariots. It looked like a mountain. That's how big it was. So he wanted to see what part of the mountain was missing, but he couldn't. So that's how big the chariots are, man, that the Lord going to be riding on. He says, after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him was so afraid, yet they does fight, because the people that's going to be those armies, when the Yahweh shall come back with the angels, they're going to be so afraid, so the Lord is going to put the spirit on them to fight against him so he could destroy them. It says, and lo, as he had saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand nor held sword or any instrument, because he's going to be in the chariots. He's going to be using concentrated beams of fire, man. He's not going to have to be on the ground with a weapon. It says, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been a blast of fire, out of his lips a flaming breath, and out of his tongue cast sparks of tempest, which is going to come out of the chariots, man. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the tempest, and fell with violence upon the multitude which were prepared to fight, and burned them up every one. So upon a sudden and innumerable multitude nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw it, I was afraid. So Ezra saw them get cremated, basically evaporated, put to dust, man. Those lasers are going to be evaporating you military people, man. You're going to be put like cremated. It's a high level cremation, man. The slain of the Lord is going to be many when these chariots come back. Like I said, those are the curses that go forth. That these chariots represent the commandments, man, which you people have broken, and you've been sinning against it, and this is going to be your punishment when the chariots come back. It's going to be death by cremation, man, by fire and the breath of tempest, man. You know. And with that, I hope this little short lesson was edifying. All praises be to the Heavenly Father and the Son, Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the apostles, the elders, the GMS who ruled well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, man. It's GMS Stop and Listen. Shalom.